In this tutorial, I'll be introducing agreement resources. I'll tell you what they are in the traditional sense and the important role that they play in Mercenta's smart agreements. Essentially, resources represent a link between your agreement and the real world. They can be anything that your agreements need to refer to externally, like machines, tools, materials, labor, and even data. These external elements are usually found in the schedules or appendices section of your contracts. In legal terms, when you add a resource to an agreement and bind them in your contract language, the parties are making available those resources for the performance or fulfillment of the contract. While it's obviously critical to be able to catalog external elements, the primary reason for needing resources in Mercenta is because they can be used within your agreements to configure your products and ultimately determine their selling prices. I hope you can see now why resources are very important. In Mercenta, resources represent the definition of the external element while its items are the real-world physical implementations of that resource. When you define a resource in Mercenta, you'll be expected to provide its name and description and then define its custom attributes. When you add items to the resource, you'll need to provide values for those attributes. Their attribute values essentially distinguish one resource item from another. Let me give you an example. Suppose you define a resource called injection molding machine. You could also define the attributes that these machines might have, such as its clamping force, motive power, and fabrication price, among others. Once that's done, your supplier could then make available their injection molding machines from their factory in order to produce the agreement's products. For each of these items, values would need to be provided for the attributes. So for example, the first machine might be a 75-ton hydraulic and the second might be a 100-ton electric, and so on. Later, when you configure your agreement's products, you could assign the 75-ton machine to a certain plastic part, but another part might use the 100-ton machine. Mercenta would then use the resource item's price attribute to calculate the part's selling prices. But that's all for now. How this all works is the subject for other tutorials. I hope I've given you an overview of the important role that resources play in Mercenta. If you want to learn more, we have tutorials on defining and using resources in your cost structures and legal text on this channel. Goodbye.